Real Life Military, episode number 9, Homeownership. So, homeownership is a big issue right now because prices are so high and people just don't want to do it. The US is not quite a renter nation yet, but there's shifts underway right now, making it likely the demand will continue for rentership into the future. Rising real estate prices are stoking the fears that ownership is slipping out of the reach for more and more Americans. Homeownership has long been considered a core component of the traditional American dream. That view of purchasing a home is a key marker of success. So, the reason why people are thinking this, because of course the rise in prices of the houses right now, but also there are companies like BlackRock that own $60 billion worth of real estate. Although they say they aren't buying individual houses, they're conflicting reports. So they aren't saying they are, but they're not denying it. And they aren't the only ones. So right now, like the baby boomers were buying a ton of houses, millennials not so much. Ever since 2016, they hit a record high of 66. But as soon as that happened, then we figured out there were not enough houses. So the exact opposite of the housing crash in 2008, we have the problem of not enough houses, and also companies buying them up and people having houses that they're renting because it is a great way to have passive income and gain wealth. So I'm going to go over some prices right now and let you know why I believe it is a good investment. This is not financial advice, this is just the facts. All right, so the average medium home in the United States is 436,000 right now. When I did this on my own house in 2022, it was 385,000, and the interest, like the increase for the last 30 years, was 3.5%. So it's already gone up almost 100,000 in a whole percentage. So the percentage last year was 3.5%. Now it is 4.5%. That's crazy. So yeah, the average percent is 4.5 right now. And that's an increase. So they're saying from 2020, it was 330,000. Now it is 436. That's a 32% increase in 3 years. So it all depends. So that's the average, right? Right now it's 436. But if you live in a place that's more like poor than like the southern states, like Georgia, Alabama, it's going to be lower. It's going to be like 200, 250. If you live where I live, like Hawaii, the average is 785,000 a year. So that's another incentive to, like, when you're young, go out somewhere that's more expensive to get more money, because the average amount that you will get is the same from where you are working at. So if you live in a place like I grew up in Southern Illinois, so the average house, I think my parents bought theirs for like 180,000. That's crazy. You couldn't ever get something like that in Hawaii. So if you go somewhere else, make your money, and then go retire somewhere cheaper, then you will have that huge increase of pay. And also, if you buy a house in that place, you'll get a huge just payout that you can go retire somewhere else or rent that place out and go back home or somewhere cheaper, like even outside the United States. So for loans, so if you do want to get a house, the first thing you have to do is get pre-approval. And that pre-approval is like you're going off your credit score and stuff. So it is employment history, credit report, current income and assets, also current monthly debt. So once you have those things, you can go and get your pre-approval. That's the first thing that you need to do. I wouldn't worry about anything else. Just get the pre-approval. Doesn't hurt anything. And then you know where you stand. Okay. So I'm going to go over a quick, like, average if you bought a house, right? So I'm going to go off the increase for 2022. So the house costs $384,000. You know what, I should just pull this up. Well, I will later. So $384,000, right? At 3.5%. If you have that house for 5 years, you will make interest just off the increase. It'll be $13,500 around a year that you just having the house and it going up, you'll make $67,000 a year. That's just for the house gaining value. So the interest rate right now is 6.25, which is super high. So the interest you'll pay off is $24,000 in 5 years. So that is, let me do the calculation, 24 divided by 5. So every year, that's around 5,000 that you just paying off your house, a place to live, shelter, you'll get 5,000 a year. So for those 5 years, around 25,000 plus the increase of 67,000 gives you $91,000 a year. I mean, for 5 years. Per year, it's $18,000. So instead of renting and losing all of that money, in 5 years, you can almost make $100,000. And this is just in like the average for the United States, right? So I'll put this on the screen over here. So, all right, I don't know if you can see that, but here it is. I'm gonna take a quick shot of that. Okay, going back. Okay, so for a place like Hawaii that I live, so same thing. My house is $785,000. Like that's how much it costs, right? So in 5 years, at 3.5%, the average increase yearly that's happened for the last 20 years is $27,000. That is insane, right? And the interest paid off is $10,000 every year. That's just for living. That's it. So us military people, like, this is a no-brainer. The only thing you have to do is sacrifice just a little bit. Even when I bought my house in 2018, I had to pay over my BH. BH, for everybody else, is like the money that the government gives you to live outside of base. So yeah, I had to sacrifice and make it happen, you know? And especially now, you'll have to. But for single people, if you go in with a bunch of other single people, you can make it happen really easily. You can buy the house or you can split it with somebody else. I would just buy it myself because I wouldn't trust anybody else. But you can find people to rent it. And if you don't, then, like, as long as you can make the sacrifice, that is the biggest investment you can make. With like zero, like with the VA loan, you don't have to pay anything to get a house. Everybody else has to save up money, and that's what everybody should be doing. If you do not have a house, then just save up some money, have that on standby to buy a house when these interest rates go down, right? So what I want to do is go over here on the VA calculator, like loan payment, and show you what this would look like real time. Okay, so right here, I have 750,000. I have 0 down payment. The interest rates right now look like it's 7.375 for 30 years, and with good credit. So 750 would be like a multi-family house, like 3-bedroom, like what would I have right now. This is a huge amount. Like, that's gonna be hard, very hard to pull off. But if you've been saving up and you can do it, that's fine, because remember that the interest rates will go down, can go down, and you can refinance. Like, I refinanced twice for my house. But well, let's go ahead and look at what, I think I have a couple pulled up here. What, okay, just to show you that this, okay, so these are single, it's around 500,000, we'll go with that. So this is for a single, like, family, or this is 2-bedroom. So if you bought this as a single person and you wanted to rent this out, right? So right now, base, this is 500,000, or just a family with 1 kid, right? So this could be an option, because houses over here cost a lot. So 500,000, 0 down, 7.3. But we gotta look. So there's other things to take into account. So as long as you've been paying your bills and you have good credit, like 720 isn't hard. So let's just raise that. So right now it's 4,172. So look, change it to excellent, and it goes down to about 4,000. Let's say, and also the interest rate automatically went down because your credit's better. So let's say we wait and we just keep on stacking money. The same house, look, the payment just keeps on going down and down. So a good person with good credit, that, remember, this started at 4,200, and we just wait, say, to 5%. My computer is so slow. So this went from 4,200 to 3,000, almost 400. That's crazy, right? So, and let's say that the whole time you stacked money, and you were stacking money before, and you got to put a down payment. So your closing costs. VA, you don't have to pay closing costs, but if you do, then you start paying off your principal a hell of a lot faster. So let's say you have 20,000. So look, waiting, stacking money, having about 20 grand for your house, and getting your credit good, and waiting for the 5%, you just dropped your monthly payment $1,000. So this is very possible, right? So, and now you have, this is under BH, so you are getting paid to buy a house. That is awesome. And if we look, right, with this payout, right? So say a single person, and this is just one single person or one family, right? If you're a single person and you have someone else live with you, you can cut that in half, or make them, half. So now you're cash flowing 1,500, and this is what you're going to have. Okay, so right now it is 23 July. Okay, so now if we look and say you stay here for 5 years, or wherever you're at, so June 2028. June 2028. Okay. Come on. Oh, it's so hard to get them. Okay, let's just say May. So you paid off $38,000. So if you're a single person and you have a roommate, that would be, let me do the quick math. So 38, remember that. So 1,500 times 12 times 5. So you made 90,000 and your roommate, you made another 38 from the principal you paid off. And then what did we say? It was about, we'll do this. So we'll just call it, we'll go down to the other one. So, and another 67 in the house increase. So that's almost $200,000. That's why this is the most powerful investment that you can make. That is crazy. And if the interest rates go down again, so that's 5%. So they went down to 2% down in 2021, 2022. So if that happens, let's just take a look. Okay. So this same payment, 3,200. If we just put this down to a 2, 2,400. So if you can't afford a house, then you need to look at your cash flow. Of course, get your budget, get a second job, or just start stacking up money. Because right now the interest rates are super high. Unless you can afford it, I would wait. But like home ownership it could be a thing of the past. Like think about all the things that we pay for now that we never thought that we would have subscriptions to, like music, movies. Like just think about that. Like even TV didn't cost any money back in the day when I was living. So with things like autonomous driving, maybe people don't have cars anymore because we're getting, like, people think we're getting overpopulated, which is whatever. But having a house could be a thing of the past. But if you have one and you keep it, you'll have that forever. And maybe it's not the house you don't want forever. So look, you this example, you almost made $200,000 in 5 years. You could take that and get a different house, put that into another house. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It's super powerful, and have a house. Like, especially by 30, you should have a freaking house. All right, that's all I got. Peace.